Have you guys been following this Pokemon Go fest that they had in Chicago last week?
I just kind of became aware of it a couple days ago. I got kind of a rundown of the shenanigans that happened.
Yeah, I have been following it with the legendaries released and the terrible setup they had for people and cell networks going down.
Yeah, could you imagine essentially paying, making your vacation for that and then it not working, you know?
Right. Yeah, there was one person that was interviewed by, must have been a YouTuber or something. I seen the video on Twitter, and they flew from Australia, I think it was,
Oh my god, to Chicago?
to Chicago, got there, and they couldn't check in. Like, they gave you one of them codes to scan to show that you checked in, and then you would get your legendary, one of the legendary birds that was released.
Yep.
And they couldn't scan in. And then, so flying over, however much the tickets costed, the original ticket to the fest in Chicago, hotels, whatnot, they are getting reimbursed the ticket for the actual Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago, and then getting $100 credit in, Pokecoins?
That doesn't offset the couple thousand that they spent, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and wasn't the event ticket only $20?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how much it was.
I think it was 20. So you're basically getting $120 back off of like a $3,000 trip.
Yeah. He was pretty angry. I don't blame him, but the whole situation, like, you know how many tickets you sold, you know how many people are going to be there. You might want to look into figuring out a way to handle the cell usage, I guess, or Wi-Fi. I don't know exactly what it was that went down, but
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have Wi-Fi set up.
Yeah, because it was the LTE or like 4G, 3G coverage through AT&T and like other providers that they didn't think to boost, right? Like that was the big issue. And they had no Wi-Fi hotspots or anything like that you would assume they would have.
yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, and you know, they had like the CEO of the company come on stage and everybody is just booing him.
Yeah, I'm watching the clips of the water bottles being thrown at the poor guy.
That was like your moment to shine, you know? You plan this and then you just get booed.
The way that they do it, though, because when the game was released, how long did it have issues? Because it was more downloads than they expected. Like, everything that they've done so far has been, they haven't expected high enough numbers, so they should have been prepared, though.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it in quite a while, but yeah, when it first launched, like, it just didn't seem like they were adding enough servers to the cluster to make it work, which seems like pretty cheap. It's like, that's the time to make money. I don't know why they weren't scaling it up.
I still play daily, but
I liked the one news story I saw where they like just quoted some guy's like Twitter, and it was like, "This is the worst time I've ever had doing anything in my life ever." It's like just a glowing review of the event. But yeah, I don't know how you bounce back from that.
well, they did extend the event, because what the idea behind it is I believe you had to catch so many kinds of Pokemon, like water, fire, I suppose, lightning or whatever. I don't know what all the kinds are, but offhand, but you had to catch so many of each one to unlock different rewards for, like, double XP, double candy, egg walking distance shortened and stuff. And they ended up basically just giving those rewards because nobody could log in. So they gave out those rewards initially, which then allowed the two legendaries to be released. And then they also extended it, because it was supposed to end Monday, and they extended it up to Thursday, so tomorrow at, like, I don't know, 5 Central or something. So I guess in-game wise, they're kind of trying to make it come back.
Huh. What a cluster truck.